everybody, welcome to Amy Lieu Presents. My next guest has actually been singing since she was 5 years old. Please welcome Larissa Lam.
Hey Amy, good to be here.
You are now a powerhouse R&B, EDM, and soul singer.
Thanks, I like that title. Can I take you with me everywhere I go?
Yeah.
Shout it to the streets.
Speaking of that, your nickname is the Singing CFO.
Yes,
Tell us
it
about
is.
that.
Well, you know, I actually have a business economics degree from UCLA. Go
Bruins!
Yeah!
High five!
And out of college, my first job was as a financial controller of a record label, and I eventually became the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, running kind of all the business affairs. And while I was there, I ended up singing with a group called Nitro Praise and going on tour with them, and they were kind of a gospel, techno, and house group. And so that's how I got the nickname Singing CFO.
Nice. And another compliment that someone gave you was that they have never, or he has never seen an Asian with that much attitude.
Yeah. I was in Hawaii touring one time, and one of the guys that was putting on the concert, he came up to me afterwards and he meant it as a complete compliment. Because, you know, Hawaii, there's a lot of, Asian or, Asian mixed population. And so he was just saying like, yeah, you've just got, you're very outspoken and very, like bold. And so, yeah, and I heard people say that the same thing about you, right?
Yeah, so we're
like sisters.
Yeah, exactly. We're very similar. And actually, one of the biggest stereotypes of Asian Americans is that, we're quiet, timid, docile.
Right. Subservient and
Yeah.
meek. And I think it's certainly important to speak your opinions, but also have, strong leadership and strong communication skills and not be afraid to have a little sass every once in a while,
Yeah. I see that you have a lot of passion to your CD. It's actually called Love and Discovery.
Right.
And tell us about this album. And I know that, it took 4 years
It took 4 years to complete.
And I know that you almost kind of walked away from music for a little bit. Tell us about
I
that
almost
journey.
did. When I started out, this is my 4th solo album, and so when I was setting out to make it, I called it Love and Discovery because it was the first time I'd really written about love songs since I had fallen in love with my husband. Because I'm normally not a sappy kind of girl, so I really hated writing like sappy love songs, especially I know Asians really like sappy love songs, but like I'm so like non-traditional, in that regard. And so this was the first time that I really was like, you know what? For me, it's different to write love songs, so I'm gonna do it. And but then the discovery aspect is not just love songs, but it's kind of discovering who you are and maybe things that you never thought you were capable of. And so there's a lot of themes of overcoming fear, overcoming a bad breakup, or overcoming certain adversities, and so that's another theme of discovering your inner strength, and. So through this journey, I worked with a great producer named David Longoria, and halfway through I ended up losing a tooth. So I had to get a dental implant, which is why part of it took so long. And then after that, I got pregnant, and so then I had to delay my dental surgery, and then I had the baby, and I was still in the studio, but all of that kind of, to make a long story short, ended up 4 years later, we're at this album. But I hope, because we also spent some extra time to re-record some songs, that it's the quality is better than if we had just thrown it together in like a year, So I think sitting with it that long, the meaning is deeper, I think, too.
Yeah. Wasn't there a time where you actually wanted to let go of music altogether?
I did. I think right after I had my daughter, especially, I sat there and I was like, the other thing is like right after I gave birth, like 3 days later, we were in a car accident. We actually got rear-ended from behind at a stoplight on the way to our pediatrician for the first time with our daughter. And thank God, our daughter was okay. I did have some back issues, back pain afterwards that needed rehab for like 8 months. And then for anyone who's given birth or have heard about giving birth, so you're sore already from like giving birth. And so on top of that, I was already recovering, and then I got hit, and so like I was just in pain. And so I remember like sitting in bed, and this might be a little bit TMI, but I'm like breastfeeding my daughter, and like I'm sitting there, and at this point, like I'm not glammed up, I don't have makeup, I don't have hair, I'm like nothing, I'm like bleh, and I'm like 40 pounds overweight, and I'm just like, I don't know if I don't know if I'll be able to like heal completely from this, and if it's going to be painful to be on stage, because I'm really like energetic on stage. And then and I honestly, I'm like, I'm not done with my album, I'm like sitting here with this kid next to me, and like, I don't know, I mean, maybe I should just hang it up, be a housewife and mom, and just that's it. But You know, slowly but surely, I think I just was praying a lot about it, and I think people started to encourage me, you know what, you got to finish this album. I had invested too much time, too much money in it, and people just started calling me to start doing shows again, and so I think that really just encouraged me to kind of, when I was at my deepest, you know, darkest point, I definitely credit God, my husband, and friends and family, you know, for getting me out of that.
Yeah, and it's very inspirational to hear that, you know, you got up from that low point and was able to complete this great album.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's certainly about perseverance. I mean, that's kind of a theme that, you know, and especially in the, you know, I think in Asian culture, you know, a lot of times we're kind of taught to take the safe route or like, you know, the secure route, and that's always like, okay, well, you can get, if you know how to get to B, you know, then go from A to B, you know, and my life has been, and that's why it's love and discovery, because the discovery part, it's like, it's not A to B, it's A to B to C to D to D, you know, E, and it's like, it's a curved Z to S, and yeah, exactly, and it's not a completely straight path in terms of, you know, my destination. I don't know what's always ahead of me, but I mean, that's why I think, you know, faith is important in my life, and you know, I take one step at a time.
Would you say you're a tiger mom? I know you recently had a daughter.
Yeah.
She's 2 years old, right?
She's 2 years old.
Would you say you're a tiger mom?
No, I would probably say I'm like a kitty cat mom. You know, so
that's actually really cute.
I don't rule with like an iron fist. You know, my mom was not as much of a tiger mom either. Yeah. My parents, I was very fortunate to not have, you know, they certainly had certain typical like expectations of get good grades and, you know, be a doctor and all that. But, you know, they didn't ground me for having like an A-, you know, or I had some friends who did that. So, I mean, my daughter, I'm stern with her in certain things, but I'm not, you know, she doesn't have to be involved with like 12 activities, and like she doesn't have to go to Harvard, and you know, she's only 2 at this point. So I mean, I'm actually really glad she's kind of an overachiever. So you know, maybe she'll just do it.
Larissa Lam genes.
Maybe she doesn't. I mean, maybe that's why my parents weren't tiger moms, because like I was probably harder on myself than.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm pretty much the same too.
You know. But you know, they did draw the line. Like when I was 7 years old, I actually took acting classes, and I wanted to be an actress at 7 years old. So I almost became a child actor because I got offered to sign with an agent. And then my dad's like, I don't want to have to take you out of school. You know, your studies come first. So in that regard, they were like, you know what, like this is too far as extracurricular. Like we still want you to make school a priority.
Yeah, I guess my parents weren't that strict on as far as like straight A's, you know, no matter what. But I remember one time in 8th grade or 7th grade, I was talking to a guy, and then I didn't do my homework that night.
You were talking to a guy?
Yeah, and
you're not allowed to date till you're 30.
until I'm like, I have a stable career and I'm ready to get married.
And then you have 1 year to meet a guy and get married, because then you're gonna be too old after that.
Yeah, and then have a baby right after. But yeah, he was really upset that I didn't do my homework that night. And then afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta do my homework. But speaking of, you know, getting married, you recently got married to Only One. And he's a rapper.
He is a rapper. He raps about dim sum and engineering, so you can't get more unique than he's the only one that does that. So.
Yeah, Only One is the only one that raps about dim sum
and engineering.
You guys are like the Asian Beyonce and Jay-Z, huh?
I know, some people say that, and what he likes to say is like, okay, so Jay-Z and Beyonce, they got more money, and you know, they're more famous than we are, but he likes to think we're better looking, so. I don't know, I mean, well, personally, I do think my husband's better looking than Jay-Z, but you know, yeah, no offense, Jay-Z.
Are you gonna name your child Yellow Orchid or something?
You know, no. I mean, our daughter's name is, you know, Kalia, and but we thought about it, Yellow Orchid, or you know, what is it, Peach Blossom, or Cherry Blossom. That would be kind of cool.
As far as an untraditional career path, I know your parents are a little bit traditional. They're a little bit traditional Chinese. How are they now versus back then about you pursuing this career in music?
Okay, so I grew up brainwashed into thinking I'd become a doctor because my dad's a doctor, and so up until I was like 16, you know, I was on that path, and then I had the talk with my parents. Mom and Dad, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to go into the music industry. No, you're gonna starve. You know, like they were just went ballistic, and they it was like they were trying to talk me off a ledge. And you know, finally they kind of like
came down.
Well, one thing I had in my pocket that I know a lot of people don't have is like my father actually was an actor in Hong Kong, he could have signed a contract to Shaw Brothers Studio, which was like the largest motion picture studio, back in Hong Kong back in the day. And a director told him, if you're smart, you should get out of the country, go to the US, you're smart, make a better life for yourself. So he didn't stay in Hong Kong, but he understood what it was like to be an artist. So I just basically, my argument with him was like, look, you had your opportunity, you tried, or you decided not to try. At least let me try and fail. If I try and fail, I try and fail, but at least I tried and failed. So that's kind of how I won my argument. And now, my dad's actually retired and he's actually back into acting. And my mom used to travel with me on shows, and they're very big supporters. I mean, I think still in the back of their minds, they wish I was a doctor still,
You know what, as a matter of fact, my dad wanted me to be a doctor too.
Yeah.
And when I was 15, I remember when I was 15 in high school, he was like, okay, you're gonna be a doctor, that's it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to decide my life at 15.
You didn't get disowned though.
No.
Okay, that's good.
But he did say he did get pretty mad.
Yeah. I mean, my family, I remember my mom when I was in college, she kept asking me, she's like, so you think about, I was already working at record companies and, interning and on that path already. And she's like, do you want to go to MBA school? Even after I was working at the record company, you want to go to law school? I mean, so there was always that need, or even other family friends were like, that's it? You're not going to do more school? Like you just have your degree and that's all? I'm like, you just be lucky that I got my degree, because half the people I know in the entertainment industry don't even have their degree. So, it's just a different ballgame. I would never trade my college education for, anything. I think it's important to have that basis. I used to be one of those people that thought I was such a control freak growing up. I thought I had my whole life figured out, and then I decided to go into music, and my whole world just completely changed. And so, for someone who was an overachiever who planned her whole life, I thought I was going to be a doctor. I thought, thought I was going to be married at 30 or whatever, and I had whatever I had laid out for my life, at 12 years old, is completely different. So, I think sometimes when you have those expectations, this is exactly what I have to do, or this is exactly how things are going to go, it's harder to deal with them. But I think when you end up in a point like I did, where and that's just one instance.
Be a little bit more spontaneous.
Yeah, to be not just spontaneous, but to be able to improvise. I think that's a better word to use, is that you have to be flexible in life. I think as Asian Americans, sometimes it's we're so ingrained about not being flexible, that this is the way things are, so that's the way things will always be. But I feel like there's so much more. I don't know what's going to happen in 5 or 10 years, or even next year, but I feel as long as my purpose is to keep making great music, to hopefully inspire and challenge people with those messages and make an impact in media and in culture, and I think if I keep those goals in mind, then I'll be okay.
Yeah, if our purpose is to serve, then we cannot fail.
No, absolutely. I think when you turn your attention away from yourself as well, it's I think if it's all about you and what you want to do, then it's so easy to get disappointed. But I think when you start looking at the greater picture, and hopefully, that's what I say. I think as a woman and as an Asian American, I have an even greater responsibility to represent my people, so to speak, is because there's so few of us in media or in this arena. And so I think every opportunity that I have for that platform, I'm going to want to influence good and not just, pump up my platform, but hopefully raise other people's platforms, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for doing that. You grew up in a very predominantly Asian neighborhood of Diamond Bars. Would you say so?
You know what? Here's the funny thing. Okay, so this is going to date me a little bit. I've lived in Diamond Bar all my life, and my parents were they're very, very early on. And so when I was really, really young, we were one of the only Asian families there. So believe it or not, those of you who know Diamond Bar, it's overrun by Asians now, but there were actually just a handful of us growing very, very early on. And then they just started coming in. So by the time I got to junior high, half my class was Asian already. And so when I was in high school, it was definitely, I think more than half my class was actually in the honors classes, I'd say 80% of us were Asian.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I went to Marquette High School, which was a lot of Asians as well. Also, I wanted to ask you about just kind of growing up in Diamond Bar, growing up in the San Gabriel Valley. How do you think that influenced your music?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. So, good one. Stumping Larissa. No.
Yay, high five.
All right. Well, I think that, first of all, talking about being one of the only Asian kids, I mean, the early days, I got to like have this complex where I wanted to be blonde hair and blue eyed, and so, but you know, honestly, like being the only, you know, Asian kid when I was really young, and I remember being made fun of, you know, like, hey, do you know kung fu, and like, it's like, and people would do the ching chong thing, and you're like, that's, you know, stupid, or they just would make different things, or you would always think like, okay, well, like all the popular girls were blonde and blue eyed, or you know, or just not Asian, and then the guy that you liked was white, but then he liked all the white girls, and you know, like those types of things where it kind of can mess with your mind. So I think in that sense it has informed my songwriting, but then also seeing the cultural shift in San Gabriel Valley and seeing like it being so diverse that's certainly something that I often write about, is kind of songs that are empowering of, you know, the identity, and you know, making sure, like for instance, I have a song on my new album Love and Discovery called Change, and it was, you know, you've heard the stories about the Asian women like who get the double eyelid surgery, or like the other things, like, you know, where they really want the plastic surgery, so they want the higher nose and or lighten up their skin, and it just really kind of breaks my heart that as Asians that we want to look like white people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I mean, I know some people think I look mixed, but I mean, I'm to my knowledge, I'm 100% Chinese, but but you know, the fact is, it's like that song's about, you can change your face, you can change your name, you can change everything about you on the outside, but that doesn't mean whatever's going on inside is going to change that.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I kind of, you know, being hammered by like the double eyelid, you know, surgery, especially with Asian women.
Right.
You know, I thought about it too, and I was like, no, you know, I was born with single eyelids, and I think I should be proud of that.
Well, and the worst part is, it's like a lot of times people think like, oh, well, that's the pressure that's being put on by like the non-Asians.
The media.
But honestly, that's one of the factors, is media and that perception, but then it's also our own people. That's the part that breaks my heart even more, is that you have aunties and uncles and, you know, family friends that are like, oh, you're too fat, or you're, you know, like you need to lose a little bit of weight, or like, oh, why can't you look like so-and-so, she's so pretty, or, you know, like whatever that is, and that comparison in our culture. And so that just ends up feeding into everybody's self-esteem, and I'm going off, so like, I'm gonna step off the soapbox right now.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get you, because when I go to my grandma, when I visit my grandma, she's like, oh, you got fat, how much do you weigh?
And it's like you only gained like 2 pounds. It's like, I just ate an ice cream cone yesterday, Grandma. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go anorexic now. No, you know,
I really need to hit the gym.
Yeah. Well, but then that just cultivates a really unhealthy like self-image for like, you know, women, and so that ends up translating to everything else in, you know, in our lives if we don't like learn to embrace who we are and who God has made us, and, you know, love the way we look.
Yeah, and you know, thank you so much for being a powerful and influential and good role model for young Asian American women. So speaking of music career, I actually wanted to be a singer too. I have a confession.
Really?
That's my confession to you.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you can show us a little bit of your singing skills. I mean, singing tips.
Sure.
So teach me how to be the next K-pop star.
Next K-pop star, the next
Larissa Lam.
The next Larissa Lam. So like with the yawning, it's really important, like when you're singing, to kind of open up the back of your, you know, the back of your voice, and you know, warm up. So like one really easy way to at least just stretch your back of your throat a little bit is just to yawn. So just open up really wide and go, ah. Oh, that's good. See, you're on your way, you know? Okay. And then, so, you know, you can feel that stretch in the back of your throat. So the motorboating, so that's just to kind of loosen up your lips and loosen a little bit about your vocal cords. I mean, the important thing when you're singing is like, don't like sing all out right away if you've not warmed up your vocal cords. I always tell people, it's kind of like when you're working out to like do sports, right? Like you don't all of a sudden like run a sprint without warming up and stretching. And so you wouldn't want to sing a song full out without having warmed up your cords. So just do. There you go. There you go. That's good. Okay. I mean, and if there are variations on that, is you can to kind of warm up your voice as you do. So you go up and then you go down. Yeah. Very good. You're a great student, Amy. You're ready. You're ready for the big leagues. And then the Mime Mamo, you normally I do this with a keyboard, but it's kind of, you're singing with like vowels and different vowels, and so it's kind of exercising the different vowel sounds and like really opening up your voice in that regard. So you would do Mime Mamo Moo.
Me, me, mamo, moo.
Very good. So even nice and rounder and even over enunciated a little bit. So like me, me, mamo, moo.
Me, me, mamo, moo.
Very good. So yeah, so normally we would have keyboard and we'd go up the scale and go back down again and kind of work on that. And so that's a good one just to kind of work on rounding out your vowel sounds in terms of, singing. So
yeah,
there you go. Crash course in singing.
Yeah, Larissa has some awesome videos, tutorials with Expert Village.
Yeah, and I'm planning
on her
to do
YouTube channel.
And I'm planning to do some more, videos.
So you also have 2 things that you really, really like.
I do.
What are they?
Really, really like is kind of an understatement. I love Garfield and I love penguins.
Why?
Well, Garfield's a cat with an attitude, and so, I don't know, I just always thought he's really cute, and I just think I know he's like a terrible example for kids because he's lazy and he eats too much and watches TV all the time and kicks dogs off the tables, but I just love Garfield, and yeah.
What are the personality traits of penguins, you'd say?
Well, they like to waddle. I think they're very community oriented. They generally hang out in like groups. Like they're not like cats where cats can just be independent and so like they're just fun.
Reflects your personality?
I think so, probably. And then they're fun. I mean, they're kind of fun when they're swimming around in the ocean.
We have something for you, Larissa.
Oh,
We have a fluffy penguin.
I love him.
He's big and fluffy, so he's community oriented.
Oh, thank you.
He has a big heart for the community.
I love penguins. I will add him to my lovely connection. We'll have to name him something cute. Oh, and he's got purple eyes, which is my favorite color. I love purple.
Oh, and purple fins.
Oh, purple flippers. Yay. Thank you so much. This is so cute.
Of course.
I love penguins.
So I also want to thank you for giving away some CDs. We're gonna have a giveaway for Larissa's new album, Love and Discovery. We're gonna have a little bit more details about the giveaway in our next video. So I wanna thank you so much.
You're
Support
welcome.
Larissa's album, Love and Discovery. It's awesome. Hear that powerful, soulful voice.
Yeah, I mean it's a mixture of pop, dance, EDM, some really good up-tempo songs. My first single is called "I Feel Alive." That's playing in the clubs right now, and but there's also a little bit of jazzy stuff, and there's the R&B like soulful stuff. So
Nice.
yeah.
With that, let's toast to tea.
Toast to tea. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Larissa.
Well, thank you for having me.
So awesome to get to know you. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences and being a good role model to young women out there. Thanks for watching Amy Lieu Presents, and we'll see you in the next video. Hi, welcome to Amy Lieu Presents. So we're gonna play a game with Larissa Lam, the pop, EDM, soul, and R&B singer. You can hear her beautiful voice through this game, but we're actually have a deterrent, which is sushi with a lot of wasabi in it.
Like my nose is gonna start burning wasabi?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Let's see if we can still sing.
Okay.
So here are the details of the game. Larissa's gonna sing songs in 5 different categories, her favorite songs, and then I'm gonna sing 5 of my favorite songs, and Larissa's gonna try to guess them, and if she gets it wrong, then she's gonna have to eat a sushi, and these are randomly selected to have wasabi in them. And Larissa's gonna pick one randomly to eat it if she gets any of the songs wrong, and then I will do the same if I get any of her songs wrong. So let's get started.
Woo!
The first category is favorite song of all time. Okay.
Oh, that's a hard one. All right, okay, so this one's mine. Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood. Hop a flight to Miami Beach or Hollywood. I gotta stop there.
It's so beautiful. I don't know it.
Are you stumped?
I'm stumped.
My favorite song of all time is New York State of Mind by Billy Joel. It's an old song.
Oh, okay. I'm embarrassed, but I will take
Okay,
one.
eat.
I'm gonna pick-
Eat.
This one.
Wasabi! No wasabi?
Oh, I guess not.
No!
I got lucky.
No wasabi! Oh, you skated that one.
Okay. Favorite song of all time? If I should stay,
I will always love you.
Yeah.
Should I let you keep singing?
I would only
be in your way. But I'll go. No, okay, we'll stop. You know, I had to sing that song randomly.
Choked on Sesame
Oh, no.
Street.
That was beautiful. You have a beautiful singing voice.
Thank you so much, Larissa.
You do. I had to sing that song on a tour bus in Thailand one time. All of a sudden, people on the tour bus found out I was a singer and was like, can you sing us something? And so I sang that song
Oh.
to a tour bus full of Chinese tourists in Thailand.
You know, I sang happy birthday to a bus full of Chinese tourists.
Awesome. We can do a whole tour of Amy and Larissa.
I know.
Chinese tour buses, your entertainment.
I know, Amy Larissa tour.
Okay.
So the next category is favorite song to sing to when you're emo. You go first.
Okay. This is funny. Okay. My shadow's the only thing that walks beside me. My
When September ends, bye.
No. Close. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Till then, I hope someone out there will find me. Till then, I'll walk alone.
Green Day,
It is Green Day.
but it's not Wake Me Up When
It's
September
not
Ends.
Waking Up in
Okay.
September.
Okay.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Oh my god, I knew that song.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
I know it is. I got the artist right.
That's like
but
my
I-
total emo song. If I'm in a mood, that's the song.
Okay, good to know. Oh, okay. So I guess I'll have to
More
eat sushi.
Wasabi.
down
Wasabi. 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 Was there no wasabi on that one too? Are you seriously avoiding all the wasabi?
I don't know. I guess not.
Oh, you're getting lucky.
Okay, so my turn. All right, you ready?
Okay.
I cannot take this anymore. Saying everything I said before. All these thoughts, they make no sense. I found bliss in ignorance. The less you hear.
What song is that?
The less I hear, the more you'll say. You'll find that out anyway. Just like before.
It's a Taylor Swift song.
No.
No. Shoot, what song is that? Oh, you might have stumped me. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, what song is it? I don't know it.
It's Linkin Park.
Oh,
It's,
oh my gosh. It's because you sang it so pretty. I was like, you made it sound like Taylor Swift should be singing it. Okay, I have to choose one.
Yeah, it's Linkin Park. One Step Closer.
Okay. That's pretty emo. Okay. Although I guess we both chose songs that were like more punk rockish.
Yeah.
I got wasabi! Okay. I gotta recover. My tongue's burning. Oh my gosh. All right.
Okay. The next category is favorite song to sing to when you're in the shower.
Oh gosh. How about somebody hold me too close? Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware. I don't know if you know that song.
It's such a pretty song. I feel like it's one of, like, is it a Disney song or something?
No. I'll give you a hint. It is from a Broadway show.
Yeah! That's what I was thinking. No, I don't know it.
It's Being Alive by Stephen Sondheim from Company.
Okay. Yeah, okay, my turn too. Sushi.
Okay, wasabi. I got wasabi. It's only payback.
Oh my god.
Wasabi! Yeah! Jackpot. Okay. Now you can feel the pain that I endured last round. It is spicy.
I feel
okay,
the
you feel the
burn in
burn.
my tongue.
Okay.
It's uncomfortable.
Got it. Okay, what song do you sing in the shower then?
Okay. Not everybody knows how to work my body, knows how to make me want it. Boy, you stay up on it.
Oh,
You
what's
got
the
that
name?
something that
Yeah,
makes me
what's
so
that?
balanced.
It's the name of the song. Okay, I can't think of the name of the song. Tell me.
Okay, it's What's My Name with Rihanna and Drake.
Oh, that's right. Ah! Okay.
Wasabi time.
All right, let me choose one.
Okay, the next category is favorite breakup song. You go first.
Did my best to follow my heart, but it led me to travel down the wrong road. What do you do when your world falls apart and you're left out in the cold?
Okay, you stumped me. You're like evil laughter.
It's my song Shattered from my album Love and Discovery.
Oh my gosh, I didn't listen to the entire thing yet, but I
See,
will.
you've been good with like not getting wasabi, so
Okay.
maybe you'll get lucky again.
Okay, I did.
Oh.
Oh my god, I feel it right now.
Oh, she's feeling it.
Through my
She's
nose.
Feeling it.
Through my nose.
It clears your sinuses though. That's the good thing about wasabi. So you got a breakup song.
Gotta change my answering machine now that I'm alone. Cause right now it says that we can't come to the phone. And I know it makes no sense when you walked out that door. But it's the only way I'll hear your voice anymore. It's ridiculous. It's been months. For some reason I just can't get over us. And I'm stronger than this. Enough is enough.
What song is that? I mean, I know it, but I don't know the name of the song. Okay, you stumped me again. I have to eat sushi.
It's by Lieu, and the song is called So Sick.
Oh, yes. I should have known that one. Okay. Dang it. I gotta get it again. Oh, yes. No wasabi! Woohoo!
Yay!
Oh. Oh.
So this is the last one. Your favorite song to make love to. Only one's watching.
He is watching. Don't you know I love you? Don't you know I need you? Don't you know I want you? Don't you know I want you? Don't you know I need you? Don't you know our love is true? So this is kind of a trick answer, so I'll give you a pass, Amy, okay? So the song is called First Love Song, and it's actually written by only one, and it was recorded and performed at my wedding.
Oh my god!
So it's trick answer. So you don't have to eat the sushi, since I know you've never heard the song.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Amy, your turn. I give you a pass, so be kind to me. What song would you make love to?
Stop, wait a minute. The way you move that girl, you done got my heart all in it. And I just wanna be with you tonight. Girl, please, I'm a player, yeah, it's true. But I changed the game for you. I wanna see what it do. Can I be your friend? This is how I feel. I'm in need of love. So let's dip up out of here. Let's dip up out of here.
Oh, I know the song, but it's like when you sing things, it sounds so pretty, and I know it's like a male artist, and like it's like gotta be
I
behind
love R&B
it.
songs.
I know, but it's like when you sing it, it makes it sound so different, and so like, okay, you stumped me again. I have to eat sushi. What song?
Okay,
Is
it's by Lloyd, and it's called
Okay.
You.
it? Okay.
Did you know that song?
I've heard it. I gotta eat sushi now. Yay! No wasabi!
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Larissa, for joining us. It was such a fun game.